Hello again, everybody. I'm the coach, and this is Madden Ultimate Team. Hope you're ready because we've got another good one on tap. Straight ahead, we've got what should be a good one between the Miami Dolphins.
Here's the kicker, Jake Elliott, ready to get this one started. And we are underway here in Los Angeles. This will be taken in at the 1.
Let's go. The Bills take over first and 10 at their own 18-yard line.
And let's pin the mirrors back and go full strength.
On first and 10, here's Vick. And the catch made. This is Emmanuel Sanders. And he'll be corralled right around the 34. 17 yards on the game's opening play and a quick first down. From the 34 now, here's first and 10. Now a carry for the former Michigan State man, Le'Veon Bell. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9. On 2nd down, it's Bell. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A 2nd down play results in a loss of 2 yards. Off the play fake, Vick. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Sacked there by Jadeveon Clowney.
It always helps for a visiting team to come in and set the tone on defense. In fact, when we talked with them prior to the game, they said they wanted this home crowd to feel like they had to hide their valuables when they were in town.
Well, the home crowd quiet now early. See if their offense can take over and get some points on the board. A great return there of 22 yards. And it'll be Dolphin football. So good starting field position for him here as they come up first and 10. Just shy of midfield at the 49. They start on the ground here at Sanders. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. Now they toss out wide to Sanders.
Nice play right there to stop him behind the line, but I want to see how this defense continues to play him here in the first half.
Yeah, we know. You know better than I. He has the ability to take over a game, so what do you do?
Yeah, I think you have to make sure that you bottle him in at varying levels, because if you crowd everyone to the line of scrimmage, if he breaks through, it's nothing but room to run.
Throwing is Jackson. And it's intercepted. Picked up by Rob Woodson. It's a foot race. He's at the 30. And they will be set up now as he brings this thing all the way back inside the 20. Darren Waller, the intended receiver. Well, not a good omen there. His first throw of the afternoon, intercepted.
And I know what the fans are thinking right now. I hope there's not negative thoughts in his head going forward since that's his first throw of the game. But one of the things I remember about him coming out of school is he's able to wipe things away pretty easily and move on.
That's going to wind up a loss of a full 3 yards on first down. So now they have to contend with 2nd and 13 after the first down run goes backwards. This is Bell. And he'll be taken down near the 20 at the 21.
One thing to keep in mind, partner, especially in the second half, when you've got a running back of this size, of these dimensions, I can just tell you, attrition does set in for a defense because you're excited about hitting him in the first half. Maybe not so much in the second half, and some of these shorter gains turn into bigger runs later.
Meanwhile, on third down, they take a shot at the end zone, but it's incomplete. And Vinatieri's kick is good. And the Bills will take a 3-0 lead. The bottom line, tremendous starting field position, really squandered there as they wind up going backwards and then come up with just 3.
Well, getting the 3 turned out to be important. I can imagine the head coach when he ordered the field goal. Please salvage something out of this drive. That was not fun to watch.
Lamar Jackson marching back onto the field. And he comes out on the heels of an interception he threw last time they had the ball.
Yeah, and you know, the quarterbacks that I know that are the best ones, the ones that really know how to lead their team, they tell them, that's on me. That's my bad. But let's go back out there and move ahead again, guys. We can get this done.
One good thing for him, it did only lead to 3 points and not a touchdown after that turnover.
Big thanks to the defense.
Now a carry for Sanders. And he'll lose yardage. Brought down at the 32. This will be a loss of 3, and now a much tougher third down looming.
Some of these play calls, I think they're a little conservative. Well, you know me, because it's easy to sit up in this booth, right, and make all the calls and think I'm going to be correct. But I would like to see them open things up, because otherwise this defense is going to gang up on the run and shut them down.
And it's complete. Henry. That one good for 13 and a Dolphin first down. Second quarter, 2 minutes remain. 3-0 our score. We remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll take you to Orlando and Jonathan Coachman. Coach will have highlights and analysis of this first half, one that's featured no touchdowns as of yet on either side.
So his job's a little bit easier for this halftime.
Need to give the coach some highlights here.
Yes, we do.
The linebacker Ryan Shazier there to make the tackle. They'll run. It's Sanders. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage on the play back at the 46. That backs him up 1 yard and brings up third down.
I like the strategy. Extra tight ends, extra beef. They want to run the football, but that means they probably want to run it inside. If you get strung out on the perimeter, you're in peril.
Yeah, we saw the result. Negative yardage. Complete. Hunter Henry with a grab. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. It'll be a gain of 8, but it'll also lead to a fourth down. He was out there waving his arms, and when you got a quarterback out of the pocket looking for any help, I guess waving the arms is helpful.
It certainly is, because you got to get his attention, because now you're in scramble drill. So everyone's adjusting their routes, finding open space, and he found the right spot for the completion.
They'll try and throw for him with Jackson. Blitz coming, and down he goes. The Dolphins can't convert on fourth down, and it'll be a turnover on downs. Well, it was too far for a field goal try. You don't really gain a whole lot out of a punt, so I don't think you have much of a problem with that, do you?
No, not at all. I think it's the right play, the exact right play, because even if you want to play defense and pin them deep, you know how hard it is for a punter to knock one dead inside the 10-yard line. That's not necessarily easily done. So I think going for it there was the right call.
15 yards that time, and a Buffalo first. So they'll come up first and 10 now from the 33. And they'll keep it on the ground with Bell. And they'll get this one down to about the 20-yard line. Now the Bills are going to use the first of their timeouts, as the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. Could we get a touchdown in this first half after all? It's first and 10. Now a draw play. This is Bell. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, second and 2. Now the Bills will use the second of their timeouts as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. On second and a couple. Vick, open man, completes it to Smith-Schuster. And he couldn't quite get there. Tackled down at the 1. They'll try and run it in with Bell. And he takes it in across the chalk for a Bills touchdown. Taking it in from a yard out. And the Bills will add on to their lead. And that'll give them a 2-score lead here, but I'm looking ahead. They just want to hold it for the final moments here of the second quarter. They don't want to give up anything on the other side.
No, not at all, because if they don't, it almost had the feel of an imposing their will score. And right now, they want to make sure they keep that and carry it into the second half.
After the roughing penalty on the PAT, they'll kick off from 15 yards further upfield. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over.
And you're under a minute to go in the half, a first half that hasn't been particularly kind to you. How do you think they'll play this?
Well, I think the smart approach is to run out the clock, lick your wounds at the half, and see if you can come up with a strategy to play better in the second. But there's also something to challenging your offense right here. You know, hey, guys, you help dig this hole. See if you can get us out of it a little bit before the half runs out. Let's go make some plays.
Give them 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7. Here's 2nd and 7 now from the 28.
They'll keep it on the ground again here.
And he'll be brought down right around the 37.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with 14 seconds to go in this first half. Throwing now, Jackson on first down. He's going to let this one go deep.
Into a double team, and it's intercepted.
Rod Woodson with a pick. And his guys have got it back at the closing stages of the first half. The Bills come to the line to start their next drive. Time for a final kneel down or a safe run, and then they can head to the locker room with a lead.
Yeah, or they can even run a screen. You know, something they feel is somewhat safe that might actually pop and turn into a big play. That's what you usually run in this situation.
Or go 4 verticals because why not?
Because you're feeling it, right? You're just feeling it.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Bills with the lead, and they'll get the football first as the second half is underway.
It's the third quarter, and they're down on the scoreboard, and while no one wants to hit the panic button just yet, points are a necessity on this drive. What a great way to get set up.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive.
They come out here with a 0 on the scoreboard. What was said in that locker room? That's what I want to know.
I would love to have been in there because we often have the feeling that there's a lot of shouting, screaming, people upset. But typically, halftime locker rooms are a lot more clinical than that. And in this case, are they upset that the plays weren't working because of execution, or did they think they were just bad plays to call?
Yeah.
We'll find out pretty quickly here if they felt like they had something going, but they just need to do it a little bit better or not.
We'll find out.
A gain there of 21 yards. Now Jackson on first down. And Jackson cannot get away, and he'll go down.
These strong safeties, some people may not realize it. It's really like an extra linebacker, right?
It really is, because they're hybrids. Half linebacker, half defensive back. The linebacker in him on that play emerged.
And unable to connect on the long pass. He actually brings it in, but he was out of bounds, incomplete. So this will be accepted as it moves the offense backwards. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on third down. Now Jackson. Man open, Rice. And he gets it all the way down inside the 10 and mark him at the 5. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
They're still looking for their first touchdown of the game, and for a second, I thought they had it right there.
Looking on the sideline, it's finally good to see nods of approval. It's a welcome sign of life that this offense needed.
And not a whole lot there. He does get a couple, taking it from the 5 down to the 3.
They'll try to run with Sanders. And he takes it into the end zone for the Dolphin touchdown. A 3-yard touchdown run, as they are now just an extra point away from making this a 3-point game. And they're able to run it in. It started with a battle in the trenches. They won there, and they got in for 6 points.
And that's going to be a tough one for the defense to deal with. They've got to go to the bench now and figure out how are we going to slow down this running game, because on that particular play, they had no answer.
Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This fielded at the 2.
That's it, baby. We go home.
So here's the Bills offense now. They get ready for their first possession of the second half. Their defense has done the job. Now it's the offense's turn as they've got it 1st and 10. They'll start the drive with a carry by Bell. And he goes across the 20 to the 22. Jadeveon Clowney there on the stop. From the 22, Vick. Open man here is Gentry. And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's 3rd down. So after the 2nd down incompletion, they'll come up now against a 3rd and 6. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop him.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Jackson on 1st down. He'll find his tight end. That's Waller. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9.
At the 46-yard line. That's the end of the 3rd quarter of play.
And as they come to the line, they will not be able to get off another play as time has run out on this 3rd quarter. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports. They only got a yard out of that last completion, and that makes this 2nd and 9. And, a crusher there as it's intercepted. Picked up by Minkah Fitzpatrick. And this one will be returned to right around the 38-yard line.
Brandon, offensively, this has been a tough day for him. Trying to find a place to throw the football. It's been extremely difficult. I've got to give a lot of credit to the secondary, especially the corners who've had the receivers on lockdown.
They'll start out on the ground with Bell. And running room scarce here. He's going to be stopped in his tracks at the line of scrimmage. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down. Looking to throw on 2nd down. Vick, nowhere to escape, and he goes down. That's the Hall of Famer Lawrence Taylor doing what he does best. 3 points separating these two sides with 2 minutes left to go in the 4th. So it's Bills football here as we get you reset. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. On 3rd down, here's Bell. And he's going to lose yards. They take him down at the 26. It's a loss of a full 3 yards, and it brings up 4th down.
Ah, yes, Reggie White. I remember when they first started calling him the Minister of Defense. It was back at the University of Tennessee. Snuffing out plays like that. Did you see that tackle for a loss? I remember him turning around the LSU game in 1983 with a similar play. Reggie White, one of the all-time greats.
13-time Pro Bowler, Reggie White. Well, that looked for a second like he might take it all the way, but as it stands, it's still a massive return. And the Dolphins will begin this drive in great field position, 1st and 10. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10. On 1st and 10, it's Sanders. This will be a gain of about 8 to the 27-yard line. Jackson trying to hustle his unit up quickly to the line of scrimmage. Another run here with Sanders. And he'll only get a yard to bring up 3rd and 1.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll try and run for it with Sanders. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line.
Ken, there's 3 timeouts left, right?
Think you got to use one here, don't you?
No doubt about it. I'd use one right here.
We got this.
Now the Dolphins going to burn the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 33 seconds remaining. They'll run on first down. It's Sanders, and he takes it down to the 10-yard line. The Dolphins going to take their second timeout as they get it with 26 seconds to go in the football game.
First and 10 at the 10-yard line.
Check.
On first down, Sanders. And they'll go backwards here, losing yardage to the 14. That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be second down. And they will get the timeout. So 3 seconds remaining. And they can trot out the field goal unit and try to send this one to overtime. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try. And a timeout comes in. The whistles blow with 3 seconds remaining. Now Jake Elliott for the field goal try.
A 31-yard attempt.
And his kick is good. And the Dolphins have tied things up here in the 4th. Final whistle blows, and we need some extra time here. It's a little teaching moment here. Overtime rules. Remind us how this goes, partner.
Okay, so in the past, we had sudden death. First team to score wins, but no longer. Now, if the team receives the ball, scores a touchdown, they win the game. If they kick a field goal, though, or don't score, the other team gets a possession. And after both teams get a possession, then we're into sudden death. First team to score wins the game.
This is taken at the 3. There are no flags. He's into the end zone.
Touchdown.
And an amazing return wins it in OT. Partner, a great game that we got to see and making it extra special. Not only did I get 4 quarters with you in this one, I got some...
Hello, everybody. It's the coach welcoming you to Madden Ultimate Team. This is the NFL.
Out is the kickoff unit as they run up and send this one away. This one taken from the 7. Solid return, pretty good field position. They'll start at the 32-yard line. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. It'll be Sanders to begin the drive. The game's first play produces 6 yards, brings up 2nd down.
Well, I think that's what they're going to need to do here in the first half. You've got to take some pressure off of this young quarterback, and no better way to do it than to establish the running game early.
It's a 2nd down run with Sanders, and he's going to be stopped up quickly here. Just a yard up to the 39.
That didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
Third play of this opening drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 3. On 3rd down, they turn to Sanders. And he won't be close to a 1st down as he runs into a wall right around the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, and it'll bring up 4th down. Strong start by this defense. 3rd and short, they go with a run. Stonewalled for no gain.
I played for a guy who always talked about setting tones and meeting force with force. That felt like it on that play, didn't it? And they met it in a big way and won. What a great job by the defense.
Able to find Waller. That's complete. And he's got a 1st down as he's up to the 48. And the drive stays in motion with a nice 8-yard pickup on 4th. 2 1st downs have him up near midfield now on 1st and 10. Now it's Jackson. And he's taken down. A Chiefs sack. Devon Kennard just would not be denied. That's a loss of 7. Great job defensively. I think he was trying to go through his progressions, find someone to get rid of the football. Before he knew it, he was on his back.
So that just brings us right back to what you said in the beginning. A great job defensively. Nowhere to go with the football. That led to the sack.
Forced out to his left. Oh, he's going to let this go for the end zone. That's going to be knocked away and incomplete. Jabril Peppers, a former 1st-round pick, there on the coverage. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. And he's caught on the sideline, but he's not going to have a 1st down. They say he was out of bounds, so a big call there. That brings up 4th.
Brandon, their last miss on 3rd down, they actually were able to alleviate it because they picked it up with a 4th down conversion. I don't know that they'd be wise to try and do that again here. To me, you got to punt the ball away.
Eluding the pressure right. And he'll lay out and pull it in. What a diving catch there. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down. So now 1st and 10 in Chiefs territory at the 36. Here's Jackson to throw. This will be caught by Randy Moss. And all the way in for a Miami touchdown. Randy Moss, 36 yards, as his guys are able to strike first here in this opening quarter. Let's make no bones about it. On paper, they're the better team. They're at home. That's a strong opening drive.
And just think how many times we've seen this type of a matchup. Just what you said. Better team at home should steamroll them. And we've seen it go the other way. Sometimes, though, they buy into it and understand we are the better team. Let's go out and prove it right now.
Now, after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This is taken at the 3. They'll run for the first time with Devontae Freeman.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a yard, and it'll be 2nd and 11. After the loss to start out, here's 2nd and 11. 2nd and 11. This one into the hands of Burton. And he goes nowhere. He'll lose yardage back at the 17. After one, 7-0 on EA Sports. Back to throw. Herbert. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Jadeveon Clowney showing the explosiveness on the sack. Man, he got in there so quickly, Charles. What could the offense have done to adjust and account for that?
But what you're hoping is that you figure out and you see and get a clue that maybe there's going to be some pressure coming at you, and you change the blocking schemes. Maybe you go to max protection. The biggest one is maybe you bring your running back in to try and keep you clean. But in that case, that didn't happen. Zero accountability, and a sack resulted.
Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over. And certainly they'll be hoping to hit pay dirt like they did on the last drive. Got the football back, so a chance to go up 2 scores.
And they haven't been tentative at all in this ball game, because sometimes you start a game with your script to try and get information out of the opposing defense. How will they play you in certain situations? Sometimes you script to attack, and that's what I'm seeing so far.
You mentioned very early on the need to establish a running game for this young QB. They really haven't been able to do that, though, in the first half.
So that means what in halftime? Adjustments time, right? Figure out what they are, figure out the things that they really want to accomplish, and who to run behind. Which are your better blockers? Find those guys and get in that direction.
Let's go now. 55.
2 minutes on the clock, second quarter, 7-0 ball game. A reminder that when halftime rolls around, Jonathan Coachman will have all the highlights and analysis of this first half of play from our studios in Orlando. And he's corralled, but not before getting it inside the 35. That one good for 13 at a Dolphin first down.
Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral. Also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Pretty solid run here on first down. Almost picked up another first, but he appears to be a few inches short. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Partner, I remember a coaching friend of mine used to tell his running backs before games, make sure you run and jog with your offensive line in pregame. Get used to the ground shaking when those big behemoths start to create space for you up front. He did a pretty good job of just following those guys through there for a nice explosive run.
Give him 12 yards there, and the Dolphins have a first down.
When you run a screen pass really well, you got to like the look of it because so many parts come together to make it work well. The offensive linemen, where they're faking people out, the back slipping out there, catching the football, then all of them going together as one unit downfield. A really nice pickup.
Play action. It's Jackson. And he's wrapped up, taken down, back at the 25. Off the edge, Jerry Hughes gets the sack. And it's never good to take a sack. You really don't want to take one down here in this part of the field, down near the red zone.
Not at all, because you're already pretty much assured of a field goal. But you take a big sack, it could push you out of range, and that's why defenses get a little more aggressive in this situation.
And he'll take this into the end zone for a Dolphins touchdown. 25 yards for the touchdown. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage.
The defense is doing their best, but they're struggling right now. They'll look for some help from their own offense to keep them in the game.
Elliott good with a PAT, and it's now 14-0. So that drive spanned 5 plays, and it ends with a touchdown for the Dolphins. Now after the touchdown, here's Elliott on to kick it away. This will be fielded at the 6. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. And now here comes Kansas City. Already down 2 touchdowns here in the first half. This becomes a pretty important drive, doesn't it?
It certainly does, and a lot of the teams script plays. We know that, right? They have a script to start the ball game, and typically those scripts go between 12 and 24, 25 plays. Down 2 touchdowns early, probably not very deep into their script. I think that they'll stay with it. I don't think they'll abandon it just yet and try and generate some offense on this drive.
Anything. At least 3 points, get that 0 off the board. A 3-yard loss to start the drive. They'll look to make that up and then some on 2nd and 13. They run. Devontae Freeman. And they're going to be waiting for him as they get him behind the line. No, I'm not mad at you for skipping halftime, but can I just have a sip of water real quick? Please? Thank you. All right, let's go. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This one taken from the 7. And he'll take it a yard or so past the 20, call it the 21-yard line. Here comes the Chiefs' offensive unit as they'll have it to begin quarter number 3. They have the ball here for the inaugural drive of the second half. Pretty big deficit, though. We'll see what adjustments were made in that locker room.
And I never want to make something more important than it actually is, right? I don't want to create more hype than what is there. But this is I'm doing it, though. This is a really important drive.
And Freeman lost the football. And this is picked up by the Dolphins. And they'll be inside the red zone with the ball at the 16-yard line. And they came out of the locker trailing. Not a good way to start this second half with their first drive.
Can't imagine that the discussion at halftime encompassed this at all. In fact, I'm sure they talked about, okay, kind of wipe the slate clean, start the second half, and let's go out and play the way we know that we can. That's not a great example of it.
They didn't envision that. Anthony Barr in on the tackle.
Third quarter and you've got the lead. You're not ready to go into that 4-minute offense to close the game out, but a running game can really benefit your team right now.
They'll go again with Sanders. And he's going to get about 4 down inside the 10 to the 9.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball, protect this lead, give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. On third down, they'll run it with Sanders. And not going to be able to push this forward. He runs into a wall right at the line of scrimmage.
Perfectly designed blitz right there. They took that one from the grease board to the field because they were able to free up their linebacker to get into the backfield and spill the play.
Brian Flores learned under the master. He's going to go on fourth down. Fourth down, here's Jackson. Tries for Rice, intercepted. Picked off by Ty Law. And he will bring it out past the 20-yard line.
Brandon, I'm not going to tell him that you called him old in our pregame meeting, but this guy has been around a long time. If there's a trick in the book, he knows it. He probably even wrote a few chapters. And this is what he's always had. And that's a nose for the football. He's able to come
nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney picks up his second sack of the afternoon. You know, despite the scoreline, I think they've got to like where they are here. They're on the road and just one big play away from getting right back in this game.
I'm going to follow right along with you because the spot they're in now is a credit to their defense. They've kept them in it by making the plays that they've made, and that just means you're one big score away from being right back there.
Now, the question is, can this offense step up and make that play? Because that's been an issue for them in this game. This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on third. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football, and the Dolphins have got it.
Whenever I see a team turn it over on back-to-back drives, fumbles on their last two, I know one person's blood pressure who is starting to rise, and that's the head coach.
Absolutely. And when's it going to go down? When they stop fumbling?
When they stop fumbling and after he's assessed the game film, and only if they manage to win the game.
They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal. Line of scrimmage, again the 4-yard line, 2nd and goal. Once again with Sanders. And he is in. Touchdown, Miami. Taking it in from 4 yards out. And the Dolphins use the short field to their advantage as they cash in for 6. Still plenty of time left in the game, but now starting to pull away a little bit. Get some breathing room without.
Oh, they flip it to the kicker. He looks like he's going to throw it. That's complete to his tight end, Waller. And he is not going to get in there. He stops short of the goal line, and the lead is going to stay right where it is. Protection was great. He had time to set up a campsite. But in the secondary, though, they were ready.
And I think that in most places on the field, if you have that much time to throw the ball, someone's going to shake free and you'll find an open receiver. But condensed near the goal line on a two-point conversion, all that exit, there's not any extra field. So it kind of closes in on them, and that allows you to cover a little bit better.
A carry for the fullback. This is Mike Burton. And trying to push forward, but he is going to be stuffed up in the backfield. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. And that is going to do it for this third quarter of action. You are watching Madden Ultimate Team on EA Sports.
Ready?
To throw on 2nd down. Herbert, they'll complete this to Ingram as tight end. That throw good for only a couple. It brings up 3rd down. On 3rd down, Herbert nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Give the sack to Lawrence Taylor.
The amount of sacks. They've absorbed in this game is absolutely extraordinary. Let's just face it. This offensive line, flat out, cannot handle this pass rush. It's been demonstrated time and time again.
On the return, Hester. It's a 44-yard punt, just 3 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. Out comes the Miami offensive unit now. They get set to take over with this lead and the football. Things obviously looking good, but maybe... you've taught me this before. Maybe this is where the defense is hoping that the offense helps them preserve that shutout that they've got going.
And it has to be in the minds of the offense that they...
That is caught by Moss for a Dolphins touchdown. Randy Moss, 2 catches, 2 touchdowns here so far. And the Dolphins are able to extend that advantage. They were still throwing with a comfortable lead here late, and now that lead even more comfortable. And he takes off with it. It's a fake. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he'll get into the end zone as the 2-point conversion is successful.
Partner, they're up big. They snap the ball from the 15 for a regular PAT, yet they fake it and get it. Is the kicker's leg tired? What's going on here?
I don't know, but defensively, now with this deficit, now you add 2 more onto that. They faked the PAT. That stings a little.
It definitely stings, and I know the guys that I played for, they wouldn't be as mad at the opposition as they would have been at us for allowing that to happen.
This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here's the Kansas City offense now as they get set to take over. And let's face it, this drive is not going to have any bearing on this game, but it's kind of important for one reason, isn't it?
It certainly is. You got to get points. And okay, all right, I'm being facetious here.
Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. Jadeveon Clowney, who else? He's in there for his 4th sack of the afternoon. Just 2 minutes remaining here in the 4th quarter of what has been a one-sided affair. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on 2nd down. Now the pressure comes, and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Lawrence Taylor able to get in there for his 2nd sack of the afternoon. Needs something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. Jadeveon Clowney, my goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really turning in an incredible performance. Here's Brian Anger now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. And he's able to get it out of there. Now a fair catch is called for and taken a few yards across midfield. So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands for... First and 10. Good starting field position for the Dolphins as they have it first and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Jackson rolling to his right. He's going to take a shot right away for the end zone. And this will be caught. And the carnage continues. It's another touchdown. As he was shuffling right out of the pocket, you could just tell he was going to take a shot downfield. He had his eyes down there the whole way.
He certainly did. He wasn't taking off.
And he takes off with it. It's a fake. There he goes left side. And, boy, talk about adding insult to injury. He's into the end zone to tack on 2 more. Oh, boy, rubbing a little salt in the wound there, going for 2 up this big.
You know, there's one time when I played, Brandon, and played against a team that was just absolutely pile driving us, and they ended up going for 2 late in the game. And I asked one of the guys, why'd you do that? He said, because we wanted to win by more. That feels like that type of situation.
Wow. Well, could also result in a melee later, though. And out come the Chiefs now. They are just obviously getting shellacked here in this one, Charles. What's the message if you're a coach for this fight? And the Dolphins rush gets home. Down he goes. Jadeveon Clowney in there to get him again. That is sack number 6. One off the NFL record of 7. Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. And he's going to be taken down, sacked back at the 2. Lawrence Taylor able to disrupt yet another pass play. That is his 3rd sack of the afternoon. Need something from deep in the bag of tricks here after 1st and 2nd down went backwards. It's 3rd and very long. And they're going to sack him yet again. The pass rush has been relentless. This time it yields a safety. Things are just going from bad to worse now. It's a safety that does him in here, and that is one frustrated offensive unit.
They can't get out from under their own shadow right now. I mean, I know this is the NFL, but could you imagine a college crowd right now? Imagine what they'd be doing. They'd be chanting, "Start the bus," because they think this one is over.
The Dolphins offense now heads back on the field. And checking the timeouts, they do have 2 defensively, but no real need to use them as they're not going to be able to stop the clock after that. They'll run on 1st down. It's Sanders. Room here to run. He's got a convoy, and he might be gone. And they are going to score again. Yet another touchdown as they just add to their totals. So another score there. Often you talk about the 3 phases of the game. Defense, offense, special teams. It's been a clean sweep in this one, hasn't it?
It certainly has. They've been pretty dominant throughout this game. And privately, the head coach will add a 4th phase. That's the coaching. And he'll tell the ownership that as he tries to negotiate a new contract off of this win.
They are looking strong here in the 4th quarter. So now the Dolphin offense will stay out there as they'll go for 2. Here's Jackson. Steps away to his left. And he's going to keep it here. And they are just not going to let up as he is into the end zone here for 2 more. And is there bad blood here? I mean, go for 2 when you're up that much?
If there wasn't before, there is now. When you do that, you've just announced to everyone, you just don't care about the other side at all. All you care about is what you're doing, and they just want to pile up points.
They did. Fielded about a yard deep. And he will be brought down here at about the 17-yard line. And the Chiefs now getting set to go. Let's just be frank. They're playing for pride at this point.
That's all that's left, because victory, not a chance now. And I can't wait to see how they actually go about doing it, because there are a lot of people watching the body language of the guys on the field now, and if they call plays they want executed, they need to do that and do it really well. Otherwise, there could be repercussions.
We'll see how they handle the waning moments of this one. 2nd and 12 after the 1st down pass play. Now the pressure comes and he goes down. Just inside the 10, back at the 9. Lawrence Taylor. My goodness, make that now 5 sacks for him in this ball game. Really, really turning in an incredible performance.
Ready? 30 base. Watch the safety creep.
Throwing on 3rd and long. Herbert. And he's going to go down right near the goal line. The officials look at each other. They're going to mark him at the 1-yard line. Here's Brian Anger now. He's been one of their few bright spots so far. And he's able to get it out of there, and this is a pretty good kick. And a fair catch taken here right at about the 40-yard.
The Dolphins take over 1st and 10 at their own 40-yard line.
The Dolphins at the line ready for their next drive. And this game comfortably in hand. The scoreboard speaks for itself, but you still got your starting quarterback out there. When do you go to the backup, let him get some time?
And that's one of the great questions in the NFL, Brandon, because I'm just going to tell you, in the 2015 season, I commentated on 3 games in a row. There were blowouts, and in none of them